For those that I've not met, my name is Jeff O'Keefe. Dharma name is Shoen. I'm the executive director of Zen Peacemakers, and we have staff members Tani Katz from Israel. Tani can wave, and Lily Mosla from Germany, and Lily can, and Asha from Warsaw can wave. And each will give a little bit of information this morning, but we want to leave as much time as we can for your questions and answers. So, and I am assuming, and I did not look at the registration list before this meeting. Perhaps I should have. I'm assuming we have a mixture of people who have registered and are coming, and of others who are not but interested. So, which is very nice, and we really welcome your questions. The one thing I'll say when we get to, about question and answer is that this is a bearing witness retreat, and as such, we 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 practice the three tenets, and so questions about exactly what's going to happen once we enter the retreat, you will find us avoiding answering those questions. What we want to talk about today is planning, scheduling, logistics, things like this, in order to get there. But once we're inside the retreat, things can change, and we approach that with the mind of not knowing and being flexible to change and impermanence, may I say. So, with that, and Tani, Lily, and Asha, forgive my feeble memory. I've forgotten who's going to go first after me.
I
Uh,
think it's me.
Lily.
Lily, okay, thank you so much. So, I will go ahead and mute myself and pass the talking stick to my friend Lily, and she will share some information with you. Thank you all so much.
Great, thank you, Jeff. So, hello from Germany, everyone. My name is Lily. It's wonderful to see you and to see so many new faces, so many people I don't know yet. I hope that I will get to know you all in November. So as Jeff said, we would like to not talk so much about the content of the retreat itself, but we thought that as we are living in such challenging times right now in this world, we would like to address some of the issues that might arise or some of the questions that you might have. Tani will later talk a little bit about our COVID strategy, and then Asha, who is in Poland, will talk a little bit about the war situation and about the refugee situation in Poland. So from my side, basically, what is important is that once you register to the retreat through the Zen Peacemakers website, you will be forwarded to the Hive site, and then you go through the registration process. And once you finish the registration, you will get an information letter. And in this letter is all the information you need to plan your trip. So you will have all the dates, you will know where to fly to, you will know when to book your flight, where to book your flight to, what times. So if you have any questions regarding the schedule, you can also always email me at lily@zenpeacemakers.org. But basically all the information is on that in that information letter, and a lot of information is also on the Zen Peacemakers website. Something you need to know is that the retreat starts on October 30th. That's the Sunday. And on Monday night, we will all go together to Auschwitz. So for this first night, you will need to book your own accommodation in Krakow from Sunday to Monday morning. But this is also included in the information letter, so you will definitely have all the information. You will not need to worry, but if you do have questions, you can email me, as I said, anytime, or we can also do a phone call. Okay, so as we said, we want to keep the information a bit short. You will get all the information with this letter, and we want to give you space to ask questions. I will now give the talking piece to my friend Tani in Tel Aviv, who will tell you a little bit about the COVID strategy.
Thank you. Thank you, Lily. Glad to see you, everyone. And really hope to see you again in November. Just maybe, Lily, to add that the retreat ends Saturday morning. So those who are flying then later on that week will have to book their hotels also, and for Saturday night and till you leave Krakow. Those, of course, leaving the same day, we will help with the organizing the transportation, usually to the airport. Regarding COVID, so it is a bit early, and I hope the current situation will not change. But I just want to say that, first of all, what is most important, that each one of us is really responsible for his health. And the main thing we must follow is, first of all, our inner voice saying what is good for us and what is relevant for us regarding masks or regarding the way we want to treat our safety. But basically, of course, the retreat will follow all the regulations needed and updated at that day when we are in the retreat. What is most important probably is for all of us to be vaccinated and to have the proof of those 3 vaccinations. And secondly, usually people who are recovered from corona, but in the past few months before the retreat might be also relevant. But if it is beyond that usually 3 months, so it is not relevant. So we have to be vaccinated and have to show the proof of vaccination. Secondly, regarding test before where you are boarding or from or in Poland, when we are boarding back to the countries, we'll have to follow the different regulations. If there are requirements in Poland, of course, we'll let you know if we know of them. But if they are specific to the country you're coming from, so you must also check what is needed in the country you're coming from, or going back to some countries, for instance, in Europe, might not demand a test. Countries out of Europe might demand tests. They are currently not, but all of this might change. So, of course, we'll be updated and update you as much as we know. But as I said, it's the responsibility of each of us to check what is relevant to the country he or she or them are coming from and do accordingly. Another thing, if tests are needed, we might help, or like we did last retreat, we'll make them accessible, although each one of us might or will need to pay for them, but we will try to make them accessible in order not to disturb the retreat and in order to make the tests more accessible for all of us. I think, and again, I just want to emphasize the fact that each one of us is responsible for his, her, they, them safety. And and of course, as much as we will know, we'll update online. Thank you. I think I'm passing this to Asha, right, to speak about Poland.
Thank you, Tani. Thank you so much. And Asha, if you can just pause 1 second. I at the beginning I also forgot, and forgive me for our U.S.-based staff here. I want to make sure everyone knows and can meet Jim Hoden-Fricker, who is our media director, and Chloe Wright, who is our director of membership and programs. So Chloe and Jim are also good backups for questions, and I believe those emails, Chloe and Jim, go to info@zenpeacemakers.org. Yes, info@. So sorry to interrupt. Asha, please go ahead.
So hello, everyone. Nice to meet you. Nice to see you. From my side, I can tell you a little bit how is the situation in Poland. I also called our Zen peacemaker friend and who is living in Krakow, so to find out how is the situation in Krakow. Of course, we are few months ahead, so we don't know how it's gonna change. But for now, the situation is very calm, and there is no sense of any danger here in Poland. There are a lot of refugees, mainly women and children, but they are under protection, under care, and everything is looks normal. So it's so there is. I just want to say that there is no danger, and we are safe traveling. We are safe being here. Everything is accessible. There is no situation like it was in the beginning when the huge wave of 2 million people came to Poland, and the country was just blocked and overwhelmed. And we try our best to help. But now government got involved finally, so everything is more organized and safe. So, but if you have any more questions regarding the situation, please ask, and of course we will keep you informed through the time till we see each other in November. But yes, we managed to make the safe container last year with the COVID, and I'm sure we can manage to do it this year, especially that there is no direct danger situation. Thank you. So I don't know who's next.
I think back to me, Asha. Thank you, and thank you, Tawny, and thank you, Lily, for those helpful updates. This gives us a nice amount of time, so I think to fulfill our intention for this session, we really wanted this to be your meeting, as it were. So please, we have a small enough group, I can see everyone's image. So if you have a question, just wave your hand and I'll call on you and you can unmute yourself, and hopefully there's some good questions that and feel free to step forward. You're among friends here. So yes, hi Bob Knott, how are you?
Hi Jeff, doing fine. I'm sorry I got on a little late. This may have been covered, but I wonder if there's any concern about using vacant rooms, using vacant space with our retreat, and impeding treatment of the refugees in any way if we do go on the retreat there. And are there things we can do to compensate, make extra contributions to help with any displacement issue?
Bob, that's a wonderful question, and that was one that occurred to me a while back too, as far as capacity. And Asha, I may rely on you, and I think the question really is, will our being in the Royal Hotel in Krakow or other hotels before the retreat, or will our being at the Center for Dialogue and Prayer in any way take away housing for refugees from Ukraine?
Okay, absolutely not. Like the accommodation for refugees is provided. It's not like I said. It's not like it was for the first month when people were everywhere in private houses in all hotels. Now they got final destination. They went further to Europe, or lots of them came back actually to Ukraine, even to Kiev, because they miss the families, and the situation calmed down enough that they decided to come back. But no, there is we are not taking anything away. Yeah, no, the situation completely changed. So they are special places made by government for people who are still staying and waiting for the situation to change. But they are not staying in the hotels like Royal Hotels or Dialogue Center. No.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question.
Yeah, great question, and thank you for your answer. Joshin, I see you have your hand up.
Just about, is there a way to stay abreast of any kind of self-organized activities that might be happening before or after the retreat, like groups of people who may want to travel together a little bit in Poland, or connect with service projects or things like that? Is there a way that this group can talk to one another and alert each other to things that others may be planning to do in addition to the Bearing Witness retreat?
Joshin, that's a great question, and perhaps I'll let one of the others too add to my answer. But what we do, and I've only been here a couple of years, but what my experience is we create a WhatsApp group for participants and spirit holders and clergy and staff, where we can do exactly what you're talking about. I'm thinking in this case, once we have a few more people registering here, sooner or later here we'll build that WhatsApp group, and people can begin talking to each other. Tawny or Lily or Asha, does anyone have anything to add to that? Hoden, you have a point, yeah?
Yeah. I can also create a group in our Hive, which would be useful to creating forums for certain topics. A little bit easier than a WhatsApp thread, and maybe more organized.
I think that would be great, Hoden, because some people don't refrain from using WhatsApp. So everyone is using a different messenger app. So I think that would be great, as we all will be on the Hive anyway once we register. I think that would be cool. Yeah.
I'm going to recommend that we do both. The benefit, and I agree, I know some people are reluctant with WhatsApp. And I also agree with Hoden that the functionality available in a Hive topic room is really good. But WhatsApp is in your pocket also when you're walking around and traveling, when you're in an airport and things like that. WhatsApp is really mobile. So for the people that want to connect that way, I think we should go ahead, Hoden, as soon as you've got time to do so, to go ahead and build them both.
Okay, will do.
Great, thank you.
I just want to take the opportunity, first of all, to recommend that if you have the time and it is available for you, I would recommend to arrive in Krakow a few days earlier. I think it makes the retreat, in a sense, much more, meaningful, or at least you are more awake to absorb what is there to absorb in the retreat itself. So I think it's a great idea. This is one. And second, usually the hotel itself is a good, once we all arrive there, so in the hotel itself is a good way to communicate, because people come and go and leave messages in the hotel itself. So this self-organizing thing is happening in any way. And once we are all there, I think it's very useful.
Thank you, Tony. Yeah. David, hi, how are you?
Good, thanks. I have some nuts and bolts questions to ask. In the packet, there was mention of tours that can be taken in, but no, how do we access that? And also, I'm assuming that we make arrangements to fly into Krakow, and there's a taxi service that was available. Also, how do we access that? And finally, does anybody have any recommendations for a travel agent?
I can answer a few of those, but I'll have to rely on my friends for some of the others. David, great questions, and I'm sure these are questions others have too. Yes, Krakow. Yes, there is a taxi service that we've used for years. And if I'm not mistaken, in the information packet, there is a phone number for our friend
Pavel.
But you
Habit.
can also he's English speaker also, and you can email him.
Okay.
And and you are very safe with him because he's checking the flights. He knows that your flight is late or earlier or whatever. So he has a company and he's servicing us for years. So you can just email him also.
Okay.
Which maybe easier.
And I'm sorry about travel agents. I've heard of them. Are they kind of like Blockbuster Video? I thought they went the way of Blockbuster Video a long time ago. So we all do our own booking. So maybe somebody has a recommendation. Tawny looks like he might. No?
No, not a recommendation. I want to add something which I think is important, and we will know it as we go closer. But if there is a threat of COVID, it probably is safe for all of us to make sure that we have insurance, because in the case of COVID, and if we get, God forbid, sick during the retreat, and we have to stay in quarantine in Poland, so it's very important for all of us to be insured in order to get refunded for the time that we are there or for the extra hotel costs, etc. So make sure that your insurance is covering COVID cases in the case they happen.
Thank you. And thanks, Tawny, for that. And David, you had a fourth question, but I have a 3-question brain. So remind me the fourth one.
What was the tours? If we want to take a tour, around Krakow or.
Asha, maybe can you speak to that?
I don't know. First of all, we can find out, but there are kind of little agencies in Krakow, where you can go and just book your tour, and in the hotel they probably know. But I can do some research about that, and but it's easy. It's very easy. It's very, very easy because Krakow, and I also recommend you to come if you can earlier, because Krakow offers a lot as a very touristic place, and around Krakow are also very nice places. So. And also there is a little bit of integration especially when we stay in this royal hotel and other people will stay around. Then we exchange, we meet, we can know each other, get to know each other, and it's easier. And so I don't know about these tours, but I know that they are easy to find, and I can do some research about that and send it to the headquarters.
Yes, maybe this can go into the Hive room too. If you can share with Hoden, thank you. Other questions? Hi, Margaret.
Hi. Just so that you know, because you don't know me, I'm in Santa Fe, New Mexico, a member of Upaya Zen Center. And my question is probably elementary logistical question. I think you said that we will be informed when to book our flights. I haven't registered yet, and I'm very much weighing toward going, but haven't firmly committed. So I'm just wondering what I should know about being able to get my flight booked and hotel set if I don't register in the next week.
Oh, Margaret, you've got time.
Okay.
If you're inclined to do these tasks, it's not too soon. You can certainly do so. A couple of things I would say. You don't need to do anything relative to your lodging Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday evenings. Those are part of your registration, and those will be in Auschwitz at the Center for Dialogue and Prayer. So nothing you need to do there. But you will need to provide, to arrange your lodging for any nights prior, and obviously you're going to want to be there at the very latest on Sunday, and the recommendation is Saturday or even Friday if you can. But those evenings, let's say Friday, Saturday, Sunday before, and then any evenings after being Saturday the 5th, if I can visualize my calendar, those will be things you'll need to arrange. As far as your travel, as we all know, if you've looked at airline booking lately, it's very inflationary at this point and probably somewhat volatile. So you can, I would, as Tawny recommended, I would get travel insurance if you have to cancel your ticket. Um, um, and but you should do it when you feel best about it, and this really is the travel booking lottery kind of situation, isn't it? I mean, who knows? I mean, I think I'm pretty good at this, but I'm a little uncertain as to how to approach, and when is it too late, and when is it going to get cheaper, and all of that stuff. So I wish I could give you some guidance, but you can go ahead and do that at any time. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm comfortable with that. I just wasn't sure if you said that, we'll be given a date when we should book, so we might all be on the same flight or something.
Oh,
like
no,
that.
no, no.
Okay.
Everybody will be different. And you'll be coming out of Albuquerque, and then
Mhm.
yeah, and then through who knows where.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks,
Okay.
thanks for that question. And my guess is other people may have had that same question too, Margaret. So
Thank you.
thanks for offering.
Mhm.
Anyone else? Diane, hi.
Hi, I just was wondering because I looked at the website. It seems like you can accommodate up to 300 people. Is that typically what happens? I mean, I thought it said like the amount of people on the retreat.
Well, we don't really know what our attendance will be this year, but it will be nowhere even close to that number. Historically, we've had attendance that it was in excess of 100 people. Last year was half that perhaps, and the year prior we were virtual. So it's really been a couple of years of disruption, as we all know, not just with this retreat, but certainly with everything in our lives. So no, it'll be a smaller group than that. We can't tell you what it will be. We don't know.
Okay, I was just imagining 300 people as being uh, a lot. So yeah,
Yeah,
thank
that is
you.
a lot.
Thank you.
Asha, do you have something to add to
Well,
that?
if I can add something regarding amount of people, and maybe COVID or something, like we're gonna spend most of the time outside, and the group, like even 100, it looks like a small group then. So, and there will be not so much time that we are together in one place, but in that case we can always wear masks. But 300, I don't think so.
Good. Melissa, you had your hand up earlier. If you still have a question, thanks.
Thanks so much. Can you hear me okay?
Very well.
Okay, good. So I'm from the States originally, but I live in Cork, Ireland for about 6 years, and I've joined you on a couple of retreats, but it's been a while. It was like 2012 and 2015, I think, respectively, and then some online things. But my question has to do with the fundraising for the tuition, the mala practice, which is encouraged. And for example, I did a street retreat with Genro, I think it was in 2012 when I lived in San Diego, and I was able to fundraise for that. And I suppose with that situation, it seemed a little bit more clear because we fundraised and the money went back to the places like the food pantries and that we ate in, and all the different people that looked after us on that retreat. But this one, I really want to fundraise. I really want to bring people with me, but I'm just not sure how to do it. It just seems a little bit more, it's not really clear. Like I just feel almost like, I'm asking people to fund my trip. Like, I mean, clearly it's not a holiday, but I'm just looking for some advice or what other people may have done in situations for, the wording, or if that makes sense. Please and thank you.
Melissa, that's a great question. And again, I think it's probably one that others have. And Miko, I didn't prepare you. So if you'd prefer not to, it's okay. But I'm guessing you have experience with raising a mullet, and if so, if you wouldn't mind saying a few words, and if not, please decline.
Hello, I'm Mikko. Yes, I'm living in Helsinki, and I'm organizer for the Peacemakers Finland, and I'm also been one of the staff members for the previous years in Auschwitz. I'm also the retreat clown, and and I've fundraised my retreats for the past years, and I usually tell people very directly that what I'm up to, and I also emphasize the work that the Zen Peacemakers International have been doing, which is really important, and also to maintain the practice of bearing witness at Auschwitz, which is really important, how people come there and how people around the world join the retreat and spend 5 days at Auschwitz is really remarkable. And I think this approach, it's honest, and I think it brings out the important practice that we do.
Wonderful, thank you.
But whatever you have questions, you can also email me if you need to.
Thank you. That helps so much. Appreciate that.
Thanks again for the question, Melissa, and Miko. Thank you for your answer. That was very clear. And Hoden has just put something in the chat about a brief description of raising a mullah, and you can follow that link. We've got some time here. Margaret, is that your hand, or are you adjusting your glasses?
Sorry, it was my eyes, my glasses.
Okay. Anyone else have a question? Anything's fair. Well, most anything is fair, I think. Again, I don't have the registration in front of me. Of everyone on screen, who so far is not registered to attend? Just wave your hand. So a number of people, yeah. Anybody else?
Oh, I'll just say I attended a few years ago, and I don't intend to come again because of my health. But I just wanted to connect again and listen to everybody and what they were saying, and for people who've never been before, I think I was so confused with all the information. The basic thing is that you go to Krakow on your own, and then you stay there, and if you stay at the Royal, which I didn't really know, then you get to meet the people, a lot of the people, and then you take a bus to Auschwitz, and you stay there for 5 days, and your accommodation's covered there, and then you're free after that to go home or do whatever you want. So that's the basic thing. And so I wish somebody, I was so confused with all the information. So
yeah,
I thought that might be helpful to people.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jillian, and you're always welcome to join, whether you're attending the retreat or not. So it's nice to see you. So thank you. Asha, are you raising your hand? Hi.
Yes, hi. No, I just want to say, like, regarding lots of information, I think something which is important is that we are doing our best as a staff to create very safe container. We are armed with the doctors, spirit holders, teachers, you know, everything what you might need during this plunge, I would say, and also we emphasize that what we are not knowing, like for instance, the weather or the COVID situation will be like, then we emphasize that we are all responsible. But what I want to say, because it's sometimes it looks like this information is leaking out somehow. We need to be prepared there for different types of weather. And it's really important that we have something which keeps us warm and waterproof, because we are spending the whole day outside, no matter what the weather is. I mean, we can always go away somewhere, but as a group, we stay there outside. So we need to be prepared for that.
That's a great reminder. Thank you.
I agree. I'm from Finland, and I cannot stress it enough that it can be really cold at Auschwitz. So be prepared.
But also, it's a matter of feeling warm and taking care of. I don't know how to say, like, that we are taking care of ourselves, like to keep ourselves warm. The rest is provided. So
thank you both. Hi, Margaret. Go ahead.
So you're saying that we'll be outside. What does that actually look like? Are we sleeping outside? No. Okay. Okay.
No, we have a very comfortable place to sleep and very comfortable place to eat, but we spend the day in the camp, so I think I'm not now uncovering any secrets.
Like 6 hours a day, about 6 hours a day we will be outside.
It is in the schedule, but yes, we are outside.
All right.
But no, sleeping in our warm beds after warm tea. So
thank you. Neely Frank, I see your hand. Hi.
Yes, first of all, thank you, Gillian. It's amazing, but the simple framework that you described is soothing for me, because it's so simple, but nobody mentions it. You come and you'd better spend time in the Royal. Anyway, I dare ask something that is not connected to technicalities, because I'm still pondering about it. How important or essential is that the course or the workshop on Saturday about the 3 tenets? Is it something that if I miss, I'm not well prepared for the retreat? Or is it something, according to your experience, Gillian or anyone else, that is so important that I will be more, like, not prepared, but open to what awaits me in the retreat? I hope it's something that can be answered.
I like that question. Tani, do you want to speak to the importance of the 3 tenets workshop?
Mm-hmm. I want to speak to Neely, who is from...
I could have reached Tani in a 15-minute drive, but it's okay.
Hi, Neely.
Hi.
Anyhow, just for the information of everyone, I think the workshop is recommended in terms of knowing, understanding, connecting to the main ethics philosophy approach of the retreat, which is the 3 tenets and the way we perceive, or we want to try to perceive, our experience in the retreat itself. It's not obligatory, and I think the retreat can be meaningful without the workshop, but I think it is recommended because it's not only being acquainted with the, as I said, philosophy, ethics, state of mind, which we hope people can approach a retreat, but I think it's also might be a way to start in a, well, get a good start before the retreat, to know some of the people, to have more acquaintance with what is going on. And I think it's a good way to start it, but it's not obligatory, and it's not a condition, of course. Or if you don't do it, it's not something that necessarily will not happen in the retreat if you do not.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Tani.
בבקשה.
Asha, please.
I'm sorry, I talk too much maybe, but I
Not
just
at
want
all.
to, I just want to say what is connected with the start of the retreat, that sometimes if you are decided to come, sometimes the retreat starts much more earlier than arriving to Krakow. So just be aware that it might happen. Like for us, for Lily and me, we always exchange already 3 weeks before. Of course, we know, and it's already like opening. But even if you don't know what's gonna happen for you in the retreat, the energy is already there. So just wanted to say that it started earlier.
Thank you so much. Lovely. Thank you. Any other questions or concerns? Am I missing anyone raising their hand? Joshin, please. Thank you.
Yeah, so you're saying it's okay to go ahead and purchase tickets, that there's not, I mean, who knows, but it's unlikely we'll get canceled in general unless there's some big COVID spike or further war or something like that.
I think that's fair to say, and obviously I need to not make any definitive statements, but we do know what's in front of us now, and we have enough people that we are moving forward on that basis. Zen Peacemakers has every intention of offering this retreat. The war is what it is, and none of us knows what's going to happen. Asha said an extraordinary thing yesterday. I'm not paying close enough attention to what's going on with COVID in Europe, but I believe Asha, we were meeting yesterday, said something to the effect that there's virtually no COVID in Poland, or that it's very, very, very much diminished.
Well, I think it's true for most of the European countries, but we don't have quarantine anymore. We don't wear masks anymore. It's the COVID is like a other disease now, and so for now there is no. Of course, there are everywhere you can disinfect your hands, and people are wearing masks if they don't feel safe, but it's not obligatory anymore. So, it looks like this at the moment, and we don't know, of course, after holiday, and we'll see. But we don't even have information about it's not a priority information, how many people are getting sick.
Josh, I just again want to reemphasize, I think that to make an insurance or travel insurance makes a lot of sense, because if the situation changes and we are not allowed to travel to Poland for many cents, or because of the country you're coming from, States or whatever, is not something happens there, so the payment is reimbursed, and it's part of the insurance. Just make sure that's what you're doing. I think it's very worthwhile for all of us to know it and to make sure that we're having insurance.
I can say that without consideration for the war, which is another influence now, but just based on COVID, things are much more certain at this point in time than they were last year at this time. Last year, I think we were quite tentative about what was going on. So, if that helps. Thanks, Joshin. Anyone else? This is really good. Thank you all. I think we're collectively helping one another learn more about this retreat. So I appreciate all the questions.
I'm sure it's in the package, just to make sure that all know that we are meeting Sunday afternoon for registration. And so we'll go over the different information if there are changes or needed information and exact hours of leaving, etc., etc. So just make sure that you know when is the registration. It's usually in the Royal Hotel from the afternoon. Probably mention if it's from 4 or 5, but anyhow, it's very important for all of us to be there and that we see each other. We give you what is needed as extra information. And
Thanks, Tony. That's really the first calendar mark that everybody needs to make sure is fixed or certain, and that's really as a group when we begin. So mark your calendars for perhaps 4 o'clock at the Royal Hotel on Sunday afternoon. Okay. I want to make sure that there's enough time here. Lily, is there anything, you don't need to, but is there anything else you feel like you need to add? No?
Just that if more questions arrive, we're very happy to answer them, because as you move forward in booking or in planning your trip, you might have more questions, and we're happy to answer.
Yeah. Great, thank you. And yes, and do note info, INFO, at zenpeacemakers.org, and we will pick up your question. Miko also kindly shared his email address should you have questions about raising a mala.
And I also put a document in there that we have with a few tips about mala fundraising.
Oh, good. Yes. Yeah, and I'll pause here for a moment. If anybody wants to copy any of those links from the chat disappears once this Zoom is over, so you're going to want to copy those off of Zoom. Okay, well, I want to thank everyone for coming. This is a nice group, and everyone contributed to helping us understand more and hopefully feel more comfortable, and hopefully those who have been waiting to decide got enough information to be able to decide to attend one way or another or not. And I think we can conclude unless there's anything else. Okay, thank you everyone.
Thank you.
Much appreciation.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Please stay healthy,
Hope to
stay
see you
safe.
all in November.
Take care of yourselves. Take
Thank
care of
you.
someone else.